Rose is recognized.
Thank you, Chairman Davidson, and thanks to Chairman Hill and Ranking Member Waters for holding this important hearing, and thank you, Chairman Atkins, for joining us today. My colleagues on the other side are citing press releases and enforcement actions brought by the former chair with large stated monetary penalties that the Commission did not ever collect. Chairman Atkins, given that it's a new day at the SEC, what is your enforcement philosophy on returning the SEC to its core mission?
Well, thank you, Congressman. We are focused on going back to basics, and as you know, is in our mission, so to build fair, orderly, and efficient markets and investor protection and capital formation. Those are the three pillars. And so we are calibrating our enforcement efforts to that, so no more sort of gotcha types of things, no regulation through enforcement. We're focused on, as we go about our rulemaking, to have it through notice and comment rulemaking, and regular order is to be returned. And so with respect to enforcement, I take very seriously that investor protection mandate that we have, and to go combat fraud out there in the marketplace, not chasing numbers and not chasing things that are not at that core.
Thank you, Chairman. I appreciate very much that kind of clear-eyed view of what the purpose of the Securities and Exchange Commission is, and thank you for your leadership in redirecting and refocusing that back on the purpose for your organization. Chairman Atkins, we've seen a troubling rise in so-called ramp and dump schemes, usually involving Chinese companies, which fraudsters where fraudsters gradually promote a stock and then rapidly sell off their holdings, leaving investors with significant losses. Many of those victims, including hardworking Americans, including those I represent in Tennessee. Given that the SEC can only suspend trading in such securities for up to 10 days, what additional tools does the Commission have to counter these manipulative schemes beyond that limited window? And could you also speak to the role the exchanges play in detecting and preventing this kind of fraud, and whether there are steps Congress and policymakers here could take to better support the SEC's efforts to protect investors here at home?
Yeah, well, thank you for that. But yes, under Section 12 of the Securities Exchange Act, our role is limited. So we have as you mentioned, we can stop trading for up to 10 days. And so we've done that in 13 companies. And the most recent one, the 14th, we stopped trading it was on the New York Stock Exchange, American Stock Exchange, for 1 day. And then the stock exchange took over from us after that to investigate that. So these particular schemes, can really be very costly for investors. So, but beyond that, we can only delist the company if they haven't kept up with their registrations and up-to-date filings and that sort of thing. So it really is incumbent on the exchanges, the SROs, to police their markets, and so we're working with them to try to ensure that happens.
And Chairman, I congratulate you on the great staff that you've been assembling, and I know they serve you well. The SEC's organizational chart shows a large number of offices and divisions, many of which have closely related functions, as well as a significant number reporting directly to the chair. I suspect you're painfully aware of that. Is the Commission considering ways to improve efficiency and coordination, perhaps by better aligning related offices and streamlining the number of direct reports to the chair?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, I am very focused on that. I still remember when I worked for Arthur Levitt back in the early 90s, and he looked at the org chart and just was astounded at how many direct reports he had. He had more then than I do now, probably. But anyway, so yes, it is very much wanting to have a real refresh as to the organizational chart.
I'm not sure we have time for this, but I'll try to get it in. Under former Chair Gensler, the SEC embraced so-called stakeholder capitalism to the benefit of left-wing shareholder activists, but to the detriment of ordinary investors saving for retirement. I was glad to see the commission issue Staff Bulletin 14M last year to rescind previous guidance that restricted companies' abilities to exclude extraneous ESG-related shareholder proposals. Can you please touch on that? I guess you'll need to do that for the record as I am out of time. Thank you.
I thank the gentleman for yielding, and